You know how in the music world you get these incredible one-hit wonders? A band comes out of nowhere, drops one perfect song, and then poof, they're gone. Well, it happens in the car world too. Today, we're going to look at some of the most fascinating, brilliant, and sometimes tragic stories of amazing cars from companies that burned incredibly bright and then just faded away. I mean, it's the perfect way to think about it, right? A car company pours every single drop of passion, genius, and frankly, a whole lot of money into creating one masterpiece. It lands, it blows everyone away, and then the company just disappears forever? These are the stories of those incredible machines. All right, first up, we have a car that was basically born out of a fighter jet fantasy. Let's talk about the Vector W8. This thing was a wild, all-American attempt back in the late 80s to build a supercar using straight-up aerospace tech. The goal? To take on the kings, Ferrari and Lamborghini. So the company was called Vector Aeromotive, and their vision was just out of this world. The car, the W8, it looked like a spaceship. Seriously, it had a twin-turbo V8 pushing over 600 horsepower, and the inside looked like the cockpit of a fighter jet, all military-grade switches and screens. But the downfall was just as extreme as the design. The cars were famous for being unreliable, the price tag was insane for the time, and the company was just ripped apart by drama. It was the classic story of ambition flying way, way too close to the sun. And this number right here, this tells you everything you need to know about how it all ended. After all those years of development, all that hype, and millions of dollars spent, they only ever delivered 17 cars to actual customers. Just 17. It's a number so small it's hard to believe, and it really shows you how incredibly difficult it is to build a legend from nothing. Okay, so we're gonna do a complete 180 now. We're going from a car built for pure, insane speed to one with a totally different mission. This one wasn't about breaking land speed records, it was about saving your life, but still looking really cool while doing it. Meet the Bricklin SV1. The guy behind this, Malcolm Bricklin, was a real character. He's the same person who later brought Subaru and Yugo to America. And his car, the SV1, which stood for Safety Vehicle 1, was way ahead of its time. It had these incredible gull-wing doors, a built-in roll cage, bumpers that could actually absorb an impact. All amazing stuff. But, and there's always a but, all that safety gear made the car really heavy and super expensive to produce. They ran into huge cost overruns, lost government funding, and just couldn't get the quality control right. The dream just fell apart. Now, when you look at this number, it seems way better than the Vector, right? Almost 3,000 cars. You'd think that's a success story. But the truth is, even with that many cars built, the company was losing a fortune on every single one. They collapsed in a spectacular fashion after only 2 years. It was proof that a safety-first sports car was a brilliant idea, but maybe one the world just wasn't quite ready for. Our third one-hit wonder is a beautiful mix of European style and good old-fashioned American muscle. This is the ISO Grifo, and what's really wild is where this company came from. They started out making, wait for it, refrigerators and scooters. Yeah, talk about a serious change in direction. The Grifo was really the best of both worlds. You got this absolutely gorgeous, handcrafted Italian body designed by the legendary firm Bertone. But under that beautiful hood, a big, reliable, and seriously powerful American Corvette V8 engine. It was stunning, it was fast, it was perfect. But its downfall wasn't because of bad management or poor quality. Nope. It was something totally out of their control. The 1973 oil crisis. Almost overnight, nobody wanted a big, thirsty supercar. The market just vanished, and ISO couldn't survive. Okay, for our final car, we're heading into the garage. This one is a true pop culture icon, a car that promised you could build your own supercar dream with your own two hands. This is the story of the Sterling Nova. Now, what's different here is that the Nova didn't come from one big company. It was made by a bunch of smaller kit car makers in the UK. And the car was an absolute phenomenon. For just a fraction of the cost of a real supercar, you could buy a kit and build a car in your garage that looked like $1,000,000, complete with that awesome canopy door that lifted up. The problem? Well, the kit car business is a tough one. These small companies had unstable business models, the safety laws were always changing, and let's be honest, building a car from a box of parts is really, really hard. So one by one, most of these companies just disappeared. All right, so we've seen 4 incredible cars from 4 companies that ultimately failed, which brings up a really important question, right? If they were all commercial failures, why are we still talking about them? Why do they hold such a special place in car history? Well, the answer has nothing to do with them being perfect, because, as we've seen, they were all deeply flawed in their own ways. The real reason we remember them is because they were brave. These cars were built by dreamers, by people who had the guts to challenge the giants of the industry. And in a way, it's their failure that makes them so compelling. They're like these perfect little time capsules of what could have been. When you really think about it, these cars are more than just machines. They're monuments to ambition. They're a powerful reminder that sometimes the most incredible stories aren't about who wins or loses, but about having the sheer audacity to dream big and go for it in the first place.